You never know who you're going to get around here, I'll tell you. Happy Family Day, everybody. Welcome to the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. Whether you're here or maybe you're watching from home, we're live from the concourse. I'm David Burrows. And joining me here today, Connor Burke. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, let's get it right out of the way. Burke, no relation, right?
No relation, unfortunately. I keep telling people, but maybe hoping for some Nashville tickets.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and it wouldn't be bad if you could get a jersey that said
Absolutely.
Burke on the back, right?
They had one on sale last week, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah, okay. Well, how long have you been a Sting fan now?
Well, I've lived in Sarnia for 26 years, so I'd say since the day I was born,
Yeah,
26.
Right on. So you've seen a lot of different hockey on this Sarnia Sting team. Can you talk about, before we get into what happened the other day, can you talk about what you like about this team?
It's a great community, especially when the arena's full. It's buzzing. It's no pun intended. It's
Pun intended's okay.
it's a great environment, and I like when it's full. And it's nothing better than that. Nothing better than having to find a ticket at the last minute because it's sold out.
Yeah, right.
That.
Well, and we had that for London, of course, and today, if you go online, I believe it says sold out again. So
Yep.
we're in for some excitement here today. But before we talk about hosting Flint here today, let's go back to the unfortunate other day.
Bit of a meltdown.
Right, yeah, and coming out in the first against London, a top-tier team for sure, but to have 3 goals in the first period and then to finish off losing by 1 in overtime. What did you like? We didn't see any goals in the second period, and then the third period. And I might take credit for jinxing that because I had said to Lee Baisley, who was here, if there was a team that could turn it around in the third period, it was London.
Absolutely, they never take their foot off the gas, and so you saw Winterton do the heartbreaker celly at the end, and it absolutely was a heartbreaker. They had their foot on the gas for 20, 40 minutes, and then I think they kind of let off there at the end, and it showed in a couple weak plays, and I think got to clear the front of the net better and keep some shots off Ben, because 38 shots to give up is a lot, and
yeah, for sure.
That's a lot on his back.
So did we take our foot off the gas, or did London just come out harder?
I think they play a full 60 minutes every game,
Yeah.
and I think we didn't really show that in the last 20, and maybe need to play them harder,
Yeah. What do you think happened out there? Did we get tired because we were playing really hard in the first 2 periods?
It seems like maybe just the confidence, and we just got too maybe cocky. 3 goals up, and you're sailing, and then
Maybe a little complacent?
I'd say so.
See, I would think that, if I was playing a team like London, I would know better than to do that because they are, like with Windsor, another top-tier team in there. But who knows what happens out on that ice. And we often talk here a lot, Connor, about, a young mindset that's out there. And London, not only just a top-tier team skill-wise, they're a very intimidating team, too, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, they have Landon Sim out there, and he's physical on every single shift. He's always got something after the whistle, and I think it's good. It's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating, and I think it gets under their skin a little bit. So.
Yeah. They know how to push buttons, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And London, Hunter hockey, we call it, right?
Yeah.
They have a certain style of hockey that I think most teams come out prepared for to have to go up against a team like London. And only, I think, maybe, would you say this season we've really seen a little more aggression from the Sting than we have in the past?
I'd say so. We got a lot of good sides there, Del Mastro and Mast and Anderson. Like, those are huge guys. They've got a physical presence on the ice, and it's good to see.
Yeah. Now, talk about those guys you just mentioned, Passagov and Del Mastro and Del Belbaluz. You really think that sends a message that Sarnia Sting's going for it all the way this year?
Absolutely. I mean, those were some big trades, a lot of assets to give up, and kind of going all in. Passagov with 1.66 points per game right now. That's a massive trade, and
yeah.
And I think that helps out a lot, and it fills the building, and it gets people excited.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree with you more, and I know a lot of fans feel the same way out there. We're taking a look at the Sarnia Sting out on the ice practicing right now. Notably as well, Ethan Ritchie will be playing his 150th game here today with the Sarnia Sting.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of names on this team that have really come together when we talk about how this team really struggled with having a lot of key players off the ice. The Sting still, there's a lot of injuries, and then they'd be back, and then another key player would be off again. But we talked with Coach Al Latang after the other day against London, a post game, and you can't just rely on those three key players all the time, right?
That's right. You got to have depth, and he said, as he said, the last 2 months you're gonna have to play every single game like a playoff game, and I think that's 100% right. You can't take your foot off the gas. There's points to be had, and it's got to be some good teams up there. I mean, Windsor's pretty far ahead, so it'd be nice to gain some ground.
Well, they've already clinched a playoff position there as well, as we know, right? But yes, there's some things that this team still needs to learn, like you said, Coach Letang. I had a conversation with Coach Letang after the post game. I really enjoy talking with him. He's a super nice guy.
He's a great guy.
He's a great coach. He doesn't mind having the conversation. But we had a bit of a serious conversation. I said, I've always liked you, Al. I said, because you just don't pull any punches, you get straight to the point. And he said, well, there's a couple of reasons for that. He said, number one, what kind of a coach would I be if I'm just not straight with you? And number two, the fans have an expectation, right? Like when you buy a ticket to come to a game, you have an expectation, right?
Yeah, you want to see a win. I mean, you can't expect it every time, but there is a certain expectation, especially when all the assets are given up and the ton of players that we have. There is a certain expectation.
Yeah, for sure. And we like to say you do have an expectation. You want to see not 100%. You want to see 120% of an effort, because if everybody's given 100, then you need to be doing the 120 to be a little further ahead.
At least you can say you gave it your all.
Right, for sure. So I think this team's really, would you agree, come through a lot of those obstacles so far. But like he said, we've still got some learning to do to get to the second round of playoffs.
I think the consistency is a lot better. It's just have to be playing full 60 minutes, and their passing is fantastic at the moment. Their power play, it's unbelievable. It's great to see. It'd be nice to get a little bit more consistent on that. But
yeah, they've come through it very, very well. And I can't do two things at once, Connor. There we go. Got to give a shout out to AG Event Graphics. You can visit them online at askguy.ca. And our friend Guy supporting us for about 11 years in our broadcast. So thanks to that. Before we move on now we're going to talk about Flint here is in the house here today. And, they're a little bit further down. Like they're 7th overall in the conference.
Yep.
And they're like 4th in the division.
It'd be nice to do. It's a good opportunity to get an easy 2 points. You never want to say it's easy, but it's a bit of an easier game than London is. But they still have players to watch like Amadeus Lombardi and.
Right, and I guess the word complacent comes to mind. You never want to come out there and going, all right, we got this. We got this. I mean,
especially
that's different than saying, okay, we got this, guys, we got to go. But you still have to go out there and earn it.
100%. Especially after an OT loss. I think they had a soft skate yesterday, as Letang called it, but today I'm sure they're ready to get back in the win column after a pretty brutal OT loss.
Yeah, well, the past is the past, right? And you have to leave it there.
Yep.
You can go back and review things later, but now's not the time to get complacent, because teams like Flint, who are, they're down lower, so they might tend to be a little hungrier sometimes, maybe than a top-tier team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes they have nothing to lose. They think they're not going to make the playoffs, so what else do you have but going out there and playing 110% every night and playing hard hockey, hit hockey, because maybe you're not going to score as many goals.
Yeah. Definitely good words of advice. Let's just get out there and play like we know they can, and let's see a good game. Wow, we're seeing more and more people show up here.
You can starting to swarm.
See on the fan cam here. The families are here. Lots of kids here today. And, again, looking for a win with the Sarnia Sting.
Love to see it.
Let's talk a little bit about, going into like playoff rounds. Some of this team that's here right now is look, there's a fan right there. Here, wave at the camera. There, he's walking away. There's some team members that were here last year that got to experience for the first time a round of playoffs. Here with the Sarnia Sting. Do you think that was a bit of training for this season? Does that give them a bit of an advantage?
I think so. I think it's a little bit of momentum going in. Like you said, expectations. You make the playoffs once, you want to make it again, right? You don't want to in and out. It's great to have a streak going, and it was a tough round to get against Windsor last year, but it's good to go in again with a stronger team this year.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of great games being played. Ottawa's playing North Bay, and London and Windsor playing today as well. So there's a lot of key games happening around the hotel. That's right. So we'll try to give you the updates on that as well. I got to ask you, Connor, besides Nolan, besides Burke, do you have a favorite player? Do you have a couple of key favorites on the Sarnia Sting team?
I'm loving Passage-Off. He buzzes around. He got some amazing moves. Sandus Vilmanis plays hard. He had a great move the other night. And I like all these guys. It's a great team, great chemistry. I like them. I like the attitude.
Right on. Well, Connor, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for
Pleasure
having me,
you on.
David.
I think we're going to have Connor back to talk some more hockey.
I'd love to be back.
Right on, for sure. We'll have you do that. Lee Baisley's going to be joining me for the rest of the day. There is no post-game press conference today. I just got the word due to there's like a family day skate with all the players, etc. So there'll be no post-game press conference, but we will keep you updated. Follow me online, and we'll share all of that so you can keep updated to what's happening here with the Sarnia Sting. Of course, shout out to our friends Lee Cunningham and Pat DeRoche who are up in the media booth for CHOK. You can listen to on the radio play-by-play, and of course our friends at Your TV, Kojiko, Terry Doyle, and Barry Wright up there as well. So, Connor, once again, thanks so much
for having me. Go Sting, go.
Now we got to do that. Now, Jay Peckham, who's joined me for many years, he's off for a bit. So we've been ending it with a 1, 2, 3, and then a Go Sting Go for him. Okay, so let's do that now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Go Sting Go!